Okay, so I actually recorded this video so many times. I'm sorry because what you're gonna see, some of the angles of the cameras don't look the same. It looks very different and the lighting wasn't right. Please forgive that. I'll do better for next time. I'm still learning how to make these videos better, so I hope you enjoy this. First of all, welcome to Kendo Tips. If you haven't already, please take a second to subscribe to my channel, hit that bell so that way you know when I'm posting new videos. And if you enjoy this content, please hit that like button. When I first got the idea of making these videos, I never really wanted to make a video on how to fold your hakama. So here's my compromise. I'm gonna show you how I wash my hakama. I'm gonna show you how I fold my hakama. And I'm gonna share a little bit of some of my experience that I had with dyeing. Like, I don't mean dyeing, but like dyeing. And if you're in a rush to fold your hakama because you're running too late to class, here's the timestamp. So how I do it, do that, go fold it and come back. If you didn't know this, there are two main types of hakama, one of them being cotton, the other one being synthetic. And mostly I'm going to talk about cotton because they are the ones that actually need effort to make look good. With the synthetic ones, you can literally throw in the washer, throw in the dryer, and fold them, and you're ready to go. You don't need to do anything special. You know, when you're trying to shop for a new hakama or gi on the website, it might say pre-washed. Well, they do this to prevent bleeding from the hakama and to prevent smurfing and blue puddles of sweat around the dojo. If your hakama doesn't come out pre-washed, the suggestion is to do that first wash with some vinegar and salt. It helps the dye set and make your hakama look better for longer and last longer. Okay, so I was buying new hakama from Shogun Kendo Book. Directly, I was talking to Blake Bennett, and he actually made the recommendation to me of do that first wash inside of one of those, you know, like the bags that look like net, like for delicate wash. Kind of looks like this. Put it in the washer and then put it with some dark jeans. So I did that, and I figure, well, why don't I just keep doing this? And by the way, you can also use a Furoshiki bag or a pillowcase, but just make sure that it's dark and it's tied tightly, because if not, it's gonna come out, it's gonna get wrinkled, and it's gonna be really hard to get those creases back. And I know some people are gonna tell me, and they have told me already, that it's not gonna make the hakama last as long, it's not gonna make it look as good. Well, let me tell you, the dyeing or like the wear and tear, it comes out evenly, because when it's in the bag, it just felt like it's more uniform. Second of all, I have one hakama that is close to 10 years and another one that is coming close to 3 years. And that's pretty much how I wash them, and it works out great for me. Now, I'm not saying that this is what you should do. I'm not saying that this is the only way to do it. It is how I do it. I used to do the hand washing one before, but this has saved me so much time. And after I'm done, it doesn't drip for hours on my top. Number two, it actually smells good, I guess, because the washing machine does a better job than I do at washing. It comes out smelling really good. And number three, I don't stain the top. Now, quick little warning or disclaimer, I'm not responsible for any mess or damage in your clothes, okay? So no. The reason why I started doing this more often is because when I was in Japan, I was staying in an Airbnb, and the first time I went to wash it, it actually stained the top really bad and was really hard to clean it. So I said, okay, whatever. I already recorded myself doing the folding of the hakama, so I'm gonna show you how I fold my hakama, either before to wash it or after practice. You're gonna see that maybe I have a little bit of salt stains on it. That's because I need to wash it. I'm gonna show you the best way I know for me to fold it and the most convenient way to fold it. The first thing I like to do is, before I lay it on the ground, I shake it a little bit, make sure everything is away from itself, everything is nice and separated, and lay it flat on the ground. What I want to do after that is just to make sure that I have a framework. So I find the edge of the hakama on each side and make sure that that's on the borders. So that way I don't have extra fabric on this side or the other side, and I know exactly what I'm working with. After that, I like to flatten as much as possible any wrinkles and all the fabric. Okay. Then I work from the inside fold to the outside. I make sure that the fold runs all the way down to the bottom. So to do this, I kind of put my fingers inside of the fold right over here, and then I make sure that I have about the same distance at the bottom. After that, I do the same thing with the opposite side. And I stretch it out. Now mind you, the depth of when you put your hand inside of this side may be a little bit shallow compared to the bottom here. It's just because of the way the shape of the hakama, but what you're looking for is to make sure that this fold is running down smoothly to the bottom of the hakama. Everything should be nice and straight. Also, you want to make sure that the koshita, it's at the center of the hakama compared to the front side of it. So you have about the same space between one side and the other from the front side, okay? From here, this tends to be a little bit the harder part for some people. What you want to do is you want to grab both sides of the hakama from the top, both sides from the bottom, stretch away from itself, and flip it. From here, might be a little bit messy, but you want to make sure that you preserve the back side of it. You're gonna work on the front now. So get the himos away from the center. Okay, and again, you want to make sure you find the edge of the hakama, put it on the outsides, make sure it's nice and square. From here, again, I go from the inside towards the outside. Get this fold that's hiding under all of the folds and straight that one out first. Everything nice and straight. Go for the next one. Then the next. Now I go from the other side. The lines may not go straight down, they might curve a little bit because each hakama has a little bit slightly different designs. But what you're looking for is just to make sure the fold runs smoothly from the top to the bottom. After this, what I like to do is I like to think about where I'm going to store it. So if you see my bubble bag or the mesh bag, I kind of want to get the same size. And I want to make sure that that size is consistent to where I'm going to fold it. So I'm going to get the edges and I'm going to bring them towards the center. You want to make sure that the bottom of the hakama is the same width as the top. Okay? So make sure it runs down smoothly down in one line. From here, what I like to do is I like to do a little fold at the edge. I think it helps protect the edge of the hakama. Thinking ahead of where I'm going to store the hakama, that's how I kind of measure how much I want to fold it. Now from here, I think this is where most people get most questions. First thing you want to do is that you want to grab the himo that you're going to start using the longer himo. From there, you want to go from where the himo starts to the opposite corner, back to it, and away. And the excess, I hide it under the whole bundle. Do the same thing with the opposite himo, the opposite longer himo. Now, I grab the shorter himo, again make it flat, bring it in the center of the hakama, grab everything, lift it up and bring it around, grab the himo again and on the same side where you started, bring the himo that way, under everything, back to the top, and then I just stretch it down on the opposite side, folding the excess towards the center. And do the same thing with the opposite himo. Center. at the end, what I like to do is I like to fold the himo, make this little fold, and put it under the first short himo that we put across, and hide the edge there. And that's how I fold my hakama. The most convenient way to fold the hakama is get a kohai to do it for you, okay? Now, let's go back to dyeing. Now, dyeing, okay. So dyeing is very interesting because you can buy different types of dye in different web pages and Kendo stores, whatever. And they're pretty easy to use. All you need to do is just make sure that you have a brush with like some little bit harder hairs, and just spread it evenly throughout and just pretty much just paint it. I did that with a man that I was restoring, and it actually came out pretty good. Now, I'm going to say that with a hakama I used to have that I fell on it and it had a scuff on it. What I did is actually I went to Amazon and I found this Indigo Dye Kit, and on those kits you have to dip the item inside of a mixture. So I went at it a little bit differently. I actually put it inside of a spray bottle and I sprayed the area that I wanted to just even out, and it worked out pretty good. Did it a long time ago. I know it's probably something that I should do again and actually video it. So if you want to see that, please leave it in the comments below. And I can say that it just very easy. It was very quick. The dye didn't last as long as the dye that it came with, but it actually ended up looking good. Normally, I would do this type of things if I'm going to an event that I'm trying to like rejuvenate my uniform or my gear. If I don't have a set already that's specifically for a special occasion. But mainly, that's my experience with dyeing. I will do more investigation. I will post more of that if you would like me to. Anyways, that's it for today. Thank you very much. I hope you found this useful. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments below, what would you like to know? What would you like to hear from me, okay? Thank you very much. I'll catch you in the next video.